And welcome to my channel. My name is Vormithrax, and this is our Let's Play for Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, Episode 9. And when we left off, I had made a big mistake, and we're about to find out if I can get out of it. So, second to my misadventure in the minefield, this is probably the most dangerous situation we've been in yet. I got a little cocky in moving around the house. I thought that I had the area fairly clear and wasn't paying enough attention to the sounds that the zombies were making just outside the front door. One of them has wandered back into the house with me just as I was starting to leave this room, and as I stepped into the doorway, he lunged forward, grabbed a hold of me, tried to bite me. He managed to bite my arm, but his teeth failed to penetrate through the layers of clothing that I'm wearing. So probably from here, what I should do is a really good opportunity to explain why I was protected there and the whole clothing layering system. So I've been kind of holding off until a good opportunity arose to bring this up, and now is a perfect opportunity. So first thing I want to do is bring up my inventory. So here's our inventory, and over on the right is our items worn list. There's another screen I'm going to show you in a moment that will also show this info, but just so you can get an idea of what I'm carrying and what I've got available as options, I wanted to show it this way first. So here's our situation. I'm grabbed, meaning I can't disengage from this zombie immediately. I'm going to have to break his grab by either trying to move away or by fighting with him. Until I do break that grab, I won't be able to move. So he's basically got me pinned in the doorway here. Second problem is, if I close this window and bring up my character screen, my torso is heavily encumbered. I've got 44 total points of encumbrance on my torso. That's having a large negative effect on my melee attack rolls, my dodging ability, my movement points for melee and thrown attacks. So a lot of problem there. It's not as simple as just taking off certain pieces of clothing, because every action requires a certain number of movement points to occur, and even if I just stand here and take off clothing, while I'm doing that, he's going to be trying to bite me. So, and each piece of clothing I remove to improve my encumbrance problem is going to make me more susceptible to his bites getting through and infecting me. So I've got a bit of a double-edged sword there. So that's the situation. I am grabbed by the torso. Let's move down to that section and take a look here. So it says grab the torso, speed is -15, so I'm slowed down pretty substantially. You've been grabbed by an attack, you are being held in place and cannot dodge, and blocking is very difficult. So, as you can imagine, this is a very bad thing. So what are we going to do? Well, let me first show you the layering screen that I was talking about. Be one moment. I'll need to double check a couple of things. No. That we already knew. It's been too long since I looked at the layering menu. Which way did it go? Alright, it's the plus key right there. Okay. So what we're looking at on this screen is your clothing and how it is organized and layered on your body. So over on the left, with sort armor set to all, these are all the items of clothing and armor that I'm currently wearing. Now, each of these items is providing, or some of these items I should say, are providing storage amounts, so that's what this is indicating. So the leather backpack by far is providing us the most, but the other amounts are important and they add up. So the utility vest gave us 3, the winter coat has got 3, and the jeans have a small amount, 0.5, and so on. So that's how you get larger and larger amounts of volume available to carry loot around with. Now, next to that is the center information, and whatever is currently highlighted is what's being displayed. So you'll notice as I move this up or down, that information is changing. And also pay attention down here, you'll see that in green it's showing what positions of the body that piece of clothing is actually covering and affecting. So my boxer shorts are only affecting my legs, whereas if I switch to the long-sleeved shirt, it's covering torso and arms. And so on. You get the idea. So winter boots are on my feet, the winter coats are on my torso and arms, etc. So you can see the properties of the item here. So it shows a coverage number. Now what this means, it's a percentage. So how it works is when something tries to bite you, like that zombie tried to bite me, the clothing on the location that the bite occurs is checked in order from the outermost to the innermost. And a die is rolled, percentage dice are rolled, and compared against the coverage number. The higher the coverage number, the more of your body is covered by that particular item. So, boxer shorts only have a 25 coverage. That means they only provide a 25% chance of that armor value or protection value of that piece actually being utilized when you get bit. So generally, the higher the coverage number, the better for protection purposes. So if I look at the jeans as a comparison, jeans have a 95% coverage. And you can see how that would work. They cover almost your entire length of your legs generally, so only a small percentage chance they'll get through. So if something bites you on the legs or affects your legs, there's a 95% chance that you're going to receive the protection that's listed down here. The jeans provide 3 points of bash protection, 3 points of cut protection, and no environmental protection. Environmental usually is referring to acid, fire, things like that. Elemental type protections. Bash and cut are by far the most common. So when the zombie bit us on the arm, it checked the layers of our armor and clothing. So what I'm going to do here is let's look at this another way. Instead of sorting by all, I'm going to use the right arrow and left arrow keys to move this to the different locations. So, torso, it's only showing the things affecting my torso. And I had mentioned last episode that I was overlayering my torso, and that's what's causing these big negatives effects. So we've got too much stuff on our torso. But let's move to the arms, just so you can see what happened. So left arm and right arm are identical in the protection values. And what it's showing is we've got a long sleeve shirt, a winter coat, and a jean jacket currently on. Now notice that here it says innermost in gray, here it says outermost. The order that these are listed are the layering from innermost at the top to outermost at the bottom. So when the zombie tried to bite us, first it checks the outermost item, so it checked the jean jacket. It looked at the coverage, rolled percentage dice, and checked to see if it met that number. As long as the die rolled was between 1 and 90, then the jean jacket did get to apply its protection value against that bite. Then it moved inward from there, so we went to the winter coat. That provides 95%. It again checked the die roll and saw that it either did or didn't meet that coverage number, and then it applied the protection value. Then again, we have a long sleeve shirt, 90% coverage, and 1 bash and 1 cut. So we've got 3 layers of clothing that it has to penetrate with its damage in order to actually inflict a wound on us and have a potential to cause us an infection. So as you can see, the more layers you have and the higher the coverage and protection values, the better off you are. So as you play the game and you get used to the encumbrance system, the armor and clothing systems that they've got in place here, it makes for a very interesting puzzle in how to protect yourself and not over encumber yourself and stay within the hot cold requirements and so on. So there's quite a bit of juggling going on, and everybody develops their own favorite methods and systems. There are tons and tons and tons of different types of clothing and armor and so on for you to experience, investigate, to play around with, try all sorts of different things. So that's what we're seeing here. So let's go back to our torso real quick. So the problem we're running into is this negative 44 number, the 39 plus the 5 bonus. And what's occurring there is we've got a whole bunch of different things. If he hits us in the torso, it's first going to hit the utility vest, then the jean jacket, then the leather backpack. You can resort this any way you'd like. And the way you do it is just highlight a line, press the enter key, move to a new position, press enter again, and that's where that item is now going to be layered. It makes no effective difference in the usefulness of the item. The only thing the innermost to outermost affects is what gets hit first from damage coming in from the outside. So generally you want to put certain things on the outermost layer and protect, like the leather backpack. I don't want it to get broken by damage from an attack, so I'm going to put that on the innermost. The rest of it, winter coat at the bottom's probably fine. Jean jacket's fine down there. They provide good protection layers, so hopefully none of this will get damaged, because your clothing and your armor will get damaged when it takes hits, and it'll eventually degrade and eventually actually be destroyed if it takes enough damage. So we want to be careful and manage that. So that's layering. You can, like I said, move this around however you want. Makes no effect or difference other than what gets hit first and what gets checked first for the protection values. It always starts down here and then works its way up through your list. And like I said, you can use the left and right arrows to move through the various locations. You want to find items to put at every location if possible, so that you've got a good number of layers and protection factors at all the different spots. Early in the game is where I'm hyper paranoid about getting bit, because I don't have enough layers and enough protection to prevent those bites from getting through, and there's a very high chance of getting infected. Once you're fully decked out and you've got 4 and 5 layers of good protective clothing on all the body locations, you can be a little more cavalier about wailing away on zombies in hand-to-hand combat, because they're a lot less likely to actually get a bite through, and you'll probably have the different medical items that you can protect yourself with afterwards, just in case it does happen. So that's the layering system and the clothing system that we're worried about currently. So at the moment, my arms are a bit encumbered. It's more than I would like, but not enough to be super paranoid about. It's this torso encumbrance that's our big problem. So we're grabbed, we're over encumbered for combat, and we got to do something. Now, looking at my inventory, I've currently got my knife spear. I would prefer not to try to switch out weapons. I can toss sticks at them, but they're going to be pretty hard to hit with a lot of times because of all of the grabbing and encumbrance problems. I really don't want to use the Beretta. There's probably a ton of zombies in the area that are going to come right at me if I try to pop off some shots with the Beretta. So I think we're going to trust to our layered clothing, and I'm just going to start trying to poke this thing to death with the knife spear until we break its grip. If we do break its grip, I might make a run for it, because I can definitely outrun a standard zombie. I'm at full stamina, and it's nighttime, and I have night vision, so I'm pretty confident about getting away, assuming I can break his grip. And I do have the disinfectant that I can use to disinfect a wound if we do get infected. So all in all, I think we'll be okay as long as he doesn't hold me in place and just bite away and invite his friends over. So let's find out what happens. First, I'm going to just try to step forward into him. That's the command to do a melee attack into him. Yes, I know about that. Alright, so we actually managed to land a hit for 16. He tried to claw at me, but he failed. We swung and missed, and he swung and missed. I dodged his swing. That's pretty impressive considering the encumbrance problems. Once again, both of us swung away and missed. I am still grabbed, which you can see here, so I haven't broken the grab yet. Okay, a few things happened there, and you probably saw a bright flash on the screen and a message, so let's kind of look through this. So he tried to grab me. Let's see. The zombie tries to grab you as well, but you bat it away, so we may have broken his grab. I'll check in a second. You puncture him for 21 critical damage. That's great. So he's heavily injured, so 1 or 2 more hits will probably finish him off. But take a look here. Your winter coat that fits is ripped. The zombie bites your torso but fails to penetrate. You block a little of the damage with your knife spear. So let's talk about that as well. So he tried to bite me. He failed to penetrate the armor, but he did manage to do enough damage to actually inflict some damage on the coat that I'm wearing. That's what it's for. I'm perfectly happy with that result. And then that message about you blocked a little of the damage with your knife spear. Here's why. If I open up the inventory and go look at the details on the knife spear, you'll notice right here the technique block. So the knife spear has an attribute of block, meaning when I get hit in melee combat like this, I don't know what the actual percentage number is for the block attribute, but basically X amount of times I'm going to be able to block damage because of that. So it's important when you're comparing or looking at various weapons that you very carefully look at techniques, special abilities that they may have. Just looking at the raw damage numbers does not in any way tell the full story about the effectiveness of weapons. People would normally look at the knife spear and see these just raw damage numbers and go, well, I can do a lot better with that than a whole bunch of other weapons. Well, that's not the whole point of the knife spear. This reach attack ability is the 99% of the effectiveness of the knife spear. Being able to hit them from range without them being able to hit you back is just hugely powerful. So just want to make sure it's clear. Don't just use the raw damage numbers to evaluate weapons when you're making decisions. Make sure you understand these other types of abilities and how they're going to affect you, and think through how you can best take advantage of that when you're out in the world. So let's finish this guy off. He did it again. So the zombie hits your head. We pierced the zombie for 19 and criticaled him again. We blocked a little damage again. Now, he hit us in the head. I'm starting a little worried here. So we've got pain. We are still grabbed. This guy's persistent. And we don't have any infection. So he didn't manage to get us infected. You can see we did take a tick of damage to our head location. But he should be almost dead. So he's heavily injured. He's biting us some more. I pierced him for 18, but he bit our left arm. And we finally managed to kill him. Well, that was a lot harder than I was hoping it was going to be. Very good news, though, is we did not get infected. Only took minor damage to our hit points. Killed him. And if we take a look at our inventory, you'll see right there the status of our winter coat. This works effectively the same as the hit point bar for our locations, for our body parts, in that 2 green bars is good, and it's taken a single point of damage, which ticked off the green bar to the slanted yellow. Another point would get rid of that, and then it would work on that bar, and once that bar disappears, the whole thing just basically disintegrates. So there are ways of repairing through the tailoring skill if you've got the tools and skills to do it. So we'll take a look at that when we get back to camp. Alright, so zombie's dead. Let's take a look at where his corpse is. Zombie corpse, light jacket, dress shoes, a hoodie, and a skirt. Nothing I'm too terribly interested in. We're going to smash that. And we're going to worry a little, or be a little more worried about random zombies coming through that front door. So hopefully we're done with anything popping in at us from that direction. Check down here. Ooh, a duster, a folded poncho. A folded lightweight plastic rain poncho with a hood. Let's take that. Polo shirt that fits, and the duster. The reason I'm humming and looking at it is it's got 6 storage. That's actually pretty high, and it covers the torso, the arms, and the legs. Basically, that's the Neo jacket. So it's the long jacket that covers a large portion of your body. You got to play a bit of a Tetris game with what areas are covered by various pieces of clothing. Sometimes you'll find yourself cutting the arms or legs off of various clothes to limit what layers are being affected. If I've got the space, I'm going to take it with me. How is our space doing, by the way? Pretty close to max, 22 out of 24. But we've had a pretty good run. We haven't even gotten to the fire station, which was the original goal. We'll pick those up. Downfill blankets, actually a very nice warm blanket, but we don't have the space to carry that with us. We'll close these while we're here, and that's all that's in this room. Dead end down this way. We're going to close these windows. Oops. Slow down to a walk. I was in run mode and forgot. Alright, pretty certain that's the front door. I am not going to risk opening that. Or is that the front door? From the southwest. So south, southwest. So out here. Well, let's take a chance. Yep, that's the front door. Hopefully they didn't hear the door open and close, so I don't think this is... Oh, this is the bathroom. That's right. Alright. So, I think we've fully explored this house. We're going to mark it explored. And the question becomes, do we make a foray down to the firehouse? Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to work our way back to this back bedroom that we came in, and I'm going to drop right here near the window some of the random stuff that I'm carrying around. We'll keep the batteries, the plastic bottle. These don't weigh much. This random stuff we're going to leave here though. Actually, we'll keep the fruit leathers and the fried seeds, but the rest of this is taking up a lot of space that we're going to need down at the fire department. We'll keep the soda. We'll drop all of this. Drop the poncho. Alright, let's see how that. So we got a pile of loot that we're leaving right there by the window. We freed up most of the weight that we wanted to, so that's great. So I'm basically leaving a cache of supplies here. I'm going to open the map up, do Shift N, supplies at back window. Actually, we'll say northeast window. Alright, so I've got a reminder on the map now that will show here, supplies at the northeast window. So I've left a supply drop. We're going to try to sneak down and see if we can take a look at these buildings. All three of these are very interesting to me, and hopefully they're not just crawling or overrun with zombies. What's the W again? The Public Works Department. So we're going to leave that alone. So let's see what we can do here. At least it's not raining any longer. It's snowing, so it's a little chilly out. We got the chili encumbrance. Alright, how's our morale doing? We're wet. I think we can take care of that actually. Did I drop the towel? Nope, still carrying the towel. So the reason I took that towel with me is because you can use it to dry off. So when I hit V to look at my morale list, wet at -43 is a huge negative modifier for the morale. But if I apply the towel, it says here, you use the towel to dry off, saturating with water. So now I'm going to drop the towel that now has the wet and active status onto the pile of stuff. It'll dry out over time and we can reuse it later. If I check V now, all we've got is a minor malus from the cold, and I'm still enjoying the hot meal bonus. Let's actually eat. You'll notice the aluminum can of orange soda is going to quench my thirst, give me a tiny amount of nutrition, and also give me some points of happiness. And we're no longer satiated or full, so we'll do that. That got us back to slaked status, which is fine. And we're also going to eat some fruit leathers. And we're back to full and slaked, and if I check my happiness, we've got a few more bonuses. So, you'll notice down here our total morale gain is +19, and that's going to translate into a focus gain per minute of game time of 0.6. So our focus here is going to start climbing. The focus number naturally gravitates to the number 100. 100 is the equilibrium point. So if it's below 100, it will automatically give you a plus focus, barring really bad negative modifiers, and it will eventually settle back into a 100 status. On the flip side of that, if it's over 100, it will gravitate down. So it's always going to trend towards 100, and you try to manage it to keep it as high as possible as much as you can. Alright, so we've done what we need to. We're going to get moving. I'm going to step away from the building a bit so I don't get surprised by things coming around the corner and being right in my face. Alright, it's not far due south, so I'm not going to do quick move. We're just going to inch our way down there. Hello, zombie. I almost walked right into him. I'm going to turn on run mode, head back north, get a few spaces of distance, and throw some sticks at him. Critical hit for 3. Oh, a grazing hit for 3. I was going to say, that was a pretty poor critical hit. And it just reflected off his thick hide. This is a standard zombie, isn't it? It is just a standard zombie. So, we just got unlucky. There we go. Good hit for 25 damage. That's what we want to see. Good hit for 14. He is heavily injured. Now, I've been throwing sticks, and I'll pick those up in a second, and earlier we got a level up. Here's where we can see that. So, if I tab to the skills section right here, you can see a list of all the skills that your character can learn, then the level, and it always has the highest level at the top. So, these are the levels. So I've got 2 in the first 6 or 7 categories. I've got 1 in throwing and 1 in piercing. So the throwing is the one we're interested in. If I arrow down to that, you can see up here, your skill in throwing objects over a distance. Skill increases accuracy and at higher levels, the range of a throw. So I'm level 1 with 27% progress towards level 2. So remember that number, 27. I'll toss a few more sticks and we'll check back here and see just how much XP I'm getting from the throwing actions. Early levels in throwing can go pretty quickly. And he should be just about dead, severely injured. We're just going to keep backing up and throwing things. There he goes. Let's check our stats here. Throwing skill went up to 32. So we gained 5% just from tossing 2 or 3 sticks. So it's going up pretty quickly. I just got to remember to take advantage of that. And we're going to smash the corpse. Body has some combat boots, skinny tie, and pants. Don't care about any of that for now. Just stepping onto the sticks, or the throwing stick location, and the auto pickup I set up previously is grabbing them for me, so that's helpful. How close are we? We're getting pretty close. Oops, gotta remember to turn off run mode. Don't be a noob. Oh boy. Okay. Something I want to point out, always important to, especially when you at nighttime when you have limited vision, I pay really close attention to this kind of info. So, from the south you hear brap. From the south you hear bang times 2. This is indicating that somebody or something is firing automatic weaponry south of me. That concerns me because I'm moving south. What I suspect is occurring is that on the road here, out in front of the firehouse, I think there's probably an automated turret or roadblock set up, and that automatic fire is most likely a turret, unleashing shots into zombies that are too close. That's my guess. There are a few other possibilities. NPCs can be firing guns, but generally you don't see much activity from anything other than automated turrets. There's a few random robot type things that might do it, but the most likely from what I can see currently in my knowledge of the game world is there's probably a turret located somewhere around here on this roadside. So we want to be really careful not to get in range of that turret if that's what it is, because it'll just insta-kill us if we do. So this could be short episodes if we do run into it. So I'm going to angle into the left a bit to make sure I've got the building below me. And you can see here more noise, more info. Hear a bang, metal screeching, bang. I'm not sure if it's a turret now or if it's well, what's going on here? I can actually see something down on the map. Let's hit the X key to get the floating cursor. We're going to move it south. And there we go. Look at that. With experience comes wisdom. Take a look at this. You read over here, and I'll read it out loud as well. It says, the General Atomics TX-1 Guardian, a small pill-shaped automated gun turret using state-of-the-art ATR systems to dynamically reorient itself to new friends and enemies alike. The 2 SMG barrels, and I hate this particular message. It's not showing the entire list, and I can't remember. Yeah, that won't do it. I can't remember which keys will show the rest of that message. That's alright. So it is what I thought it was. It's an automated gun turret. It's got its own lighting system around it. You can see corpses of zombies, I'm assuming. That's a swimmer zombie corpse. That's a bruised zombie corpse. That's a... where's the message? I'm not seeing the corpse on that list. Not too concerned about it. And there's a bunch of stuff up here as well. So zombies have been wandering into it and been getting annihilated by the turret. So it's a roadblock. There's a roadblock with automated defense turrets. So very dangerous. We're going to stay well away from it, but at least we can see it. And we know it's pretty far into the street, so we're not likely to encounter it as long as we stay out of that side of the building. We're actually going to have to go to that side of the building because the front of the fire station is going to be on the street side. So that's going to make things interesting. So do I check the electronics store or... yeah... Yeah, from the southwest you hear a clang, and I see an indicator here, so there's something in the electronics store. So let's work our way around the far side here. Alright, I've got to be careful. I'm going to zoom the screen out so I can... I'm going to have a problem. That thing might be able to see me if I try to get to the front of the fire station. Well, this is a bit of a pickle. I really wanted to get into this fire station. And there is a roadblock blocking me. That is disappointing, to say the least. So the light is bright, cloudy. I am not going to be able to get to that around that corner. That thing's going to be able to see me. Yep, the light's carrying too far because this is the edge of the building. I have to get around this corner right here. And if I try it, I'm going to get zapped by this turret. Well, alright. Back north we go. I'm going to have to give up my desire to go into the fire station. You'll notice there's no entrances around the back or that side. There's not likely to be one on this side. Actually, if I remember right, it's got a bit of an L shape in front, so let me... Whoa! Zoom back out again. So there's actually... It's a roadblock. There's a turret and a block here, and then there's a turret and a block on the other side. So I'm going to have the same problem. The lighting is cloudy here and bright, so he's going to be able to get to me. Nope. Alright, I give up. I can't go into the fire station. Something's been knocking windows out over here. I can't pry open a broken window. I'll make more noise if I try to break that. These are more like bay windows. You can't pry these open. You can either break them or leave them. Whoa, your right hand will be frost nipped in the next few hours, so we've got to deal with the cold. But I'm going to try to get in here. There may be a zombie in here with me, so I need to be careful, but I'd really like to get some tools. Uh-oh, we got a spitter zombie. Or a boomer. Oh, that's not good. Oh, man, this is rough. So, luck of the draw, put a boomer zombie in here with us. Let's read the description. It says, a rotund human body, bloated beyond belief and layered in rolls of fat. It emits a horrible odor, and a putrid pink sludge dribbles from its mouth. The danger is not so much the zombie itself. The danger is the secondary effects. It's called a boomer zombie for a reason. It's going to get close, and then it's going to explode. I'll survive the damage. It's not going to be a huge amount of damage, but it's going to coat me in bile, which makes me smell, which makes it easier for things to track me. And the noise of the explosion is going to make it attract a whole bunch of zombies from the neighboring area. So I'll have to think about how I want to deal with this. So there's the boomer. I'm going to switch it over to showing items in the area. So there's a soldering iron just below me. That's very, very important to get a hold of. I might grab that and make a run for it. Scrap metal. Somebody broke the shelving there. Ooh, an MP3 player just north of me. That's the thing that's pretty important as well. A vacuum sealer. Some solder for the soldering iron. And a screwdriver, which I would normally be really happy about, but we got our screwdriver set up north, so... What to do, what to do. Let's switch it back to the zombie mode. He actually hasn't seen me yet. I might get away with moving north. He might randomly move north towards me. So let's play a little peekaboo with this guy. Get out of that mode. I'm going to move north. Kind of keep an eye on where he's at. Let's grab the solder, the MP3 player, and the vacuum sealer. He moved north again. What do we got over here? Another screwdriver and some copper wire. Lots of screwdrivers, glass shards. So right now the soldering iron is the only other thing up in this area. And this is the external wall. I'm going to work my way back around this way, see if I can loop around south of him without him seeing me. So he's busy destroying shelving, so hopefully he stays over there. Ooh, there we go. I want that. Pocket watch, or wristwatch. Very important. Take a look at this. So if you look at this part of the screen, right now we've got the sun-moon indicator. If I do Shift W to wear and put on the wristwatch, where is my time of day indicator? I should be seeing a time of day indication. Curious. I'm not sure why it's not showing it to me. Simple wristwatch on a plastic band, tells the time and has an alarm clock feature. It should have updated my interface and start showing me actual information. Secondarily, zombie dog is now coming at me. Not good. And I never took care of my layering problem. And that thing's faster than I am, so running away is going to be difficult. So, we've got ourselves, or I've got myself into another pickle. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with the time function. I was expecting it to update and actually show a time status, but we'll worry about that later. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually end the episode right here on yet another cliffhanger. We are trapped in the electronics store with a zombie dog. The zombie dog has spotted us, not surprising, so it can sense a lot better than that other zombie can. The downside is he's faster than I am probably, and he's going to attract the attention of other nearby zombies if I try to fight him. So we're back in a pickle situation. I'm really disappointed about the fire station, but we'll get over that, and we found some other good stuff. So, once again, I hope you've enjoyed the episode and the series. Look forward to doing a bunch more. If you're enjoying yourself, please do hit the like button, and hopefully subscribe. I've got this and a few other game series planned, so look forward to more in the future. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.